Hey guys, back for another episode of Magnolia House. My cousin Cece.
So let's talk fitness.
Well, do you have? Let me get this adjusted. Do you have a daily routine?
I would say weekly routine, not daily.
What about like what time you wake up?
During summer, so we're not going to talk about summer, but during school, I wake up at 6:30.
Damn.
And then I have school.
What time do you have to be at school?
It changes every semester, but this semester will be 9. So
that's not bad.
my plan is to wake up at 6:30 to be done with the gym by 8:30 and be in class by 9.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
But what
It's
time are
actually
you
really
waking up
cool.
right now?
Right now, during summer, I woke up today at 11.
Yeah, see? And so how do you adjust? Like, I do really well if I have something that forces me to get up. Like, I'm not allowed to miss it. Like, yesterday, Theo Carlos had me take him to the airport with all them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be there at his house at 5:30. So I had to get up at 5. And it was awful getting up.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're up, you're up.
Yeah. It's nice waking up early.
Yeah, I got so much shit done.
Yeah.
Because, like, I started cleaning the bathroom when I got here at, like, 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I was done by, like, 10. And I was like, I'm usually, like, waking up, like, a half hour ago. And then I cleaned the shower. Yeah, so, like...
Having something that, requires you to get up, a routine, a schedule, is really beneficial. I don't think I could do what you do, where you work for yourself pretty much.
Yeah.
You kind of control your own hours. I would not function.
Well, I do better. I think sleep and a regular sleep schedule is stupid important. Because I feel like almost high when I'm all over the place with my sleep. Like, I'm just groggy and sleepy and out of it all the time when I don't have a good sleep schedule. But working your own hours, you can still be disciplined in your hours.
That's true.
I'm not great at it, but I don't slack off a whole lot.
Yeah. There's greater room for, like, excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also greater room to do whatever you want. Like my dad, this is his routine. He gets up at like 8-ish and he can barely open his eyes. He's tired as shit. He's like falling asleep on the way to walk to his car. And then he goes to work for like 8 or 9 hours. Then he comes home and he sits on the couch and he goes, oh, thank God I'm home. And then he passes out and he goes to bed for the rest of the night. And that's like, you're not even living life at that point. Every day is just going by and you're just getting older.
Yeah.
And he's not making a shit ton of money and he's working really hard. And so it's like, how is that worth it? But then you got bills to pay and I don't know.
Yeah. You kind of get stuck. Alex and I talk about this a lot. You get stuck, like, being comfortable. Like, he's probably uncomfortable, but he's comfortable in his uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
So, and Rafael is not one to take risks.
No, not even a little bit. No.
Yeah.
Even if, like, I started talking to him about getting this house. At this point, it's probably like 3.5 years ago, maybe almost 4.
I remember.
But, well, I had the plan when I was 25 because I read that guy's book, his first one. And I asked Theo Carlos, I asked my dad, I asked Theo Tanis, I asked Adam, this other mentor that I had. I was like, when do you think you started getting your shit together? And they all separately said 25. And I was turning 25 and I was like, I got to get shit together. So I made the plan to get the house and I said I would get it in 2 years. It took like 3.
It's not bad.
No. But talking to my dad about it, he's like, yeah, that would be nice. And it's like,
he's a daydreamer. Doesn't have an action plan.
Yeah, and he doesn't, I don't know if it's because past life experience. He doesn't think things can get better. And he also doesn't know how to will them to get better and to, like, make the moves to bring that forward.
Yeah.
A
lot of it is, like, depression runs in our family.
Oh, yeah. Stupid depression, PTSD.
You learn, like, that negative thought process. It doesn't stop unless you take the actions to stop it.
But also, one thing, Marcus Aurelius, I haven't really read any of it yet, but he talks about just discipline and attacking the day and all that stuff. One of the things he said is one of the first things that I read, which is like, you're not meant to you're not meant to relax. You're meant to actually, like, go out there and get it. Like, when you wake up in the morning, the bees and the birds are already doing their thing because they have to, and that's life.
Yeah,
and it's like, you're going to be wasting your life if you're just living to be comfortable all the time.
Yeah. Or like hunters and gatherers way back in the day.
But changing who you are, like when you're almost 30,
hard.
Especially when you weren't taught any of that and you're not
Mhm.
disciplined, and you have to learn to wake yourself up in the morning, force yourself to go work out, force yourself to work hard. Then when you get home, don't just fall on the couch and go to bed, or go to your bed and go to bed. It's hard.
It's hard. It depends a lot on who you surround yourself with too. Like your friends. I don't know what your
Yeah.
friends do. Like
Yeah.
if they're motivating you. Sometimes you need that person to like push you a little bit.
And you're married
yourself.
though,
I'm
and
married.
that's like a permanent permanent like partner in crime to go
Alex
do all your
doesn't
stuff.
work out at all, so
Really?
I have to motivate myself. Yeah, he's
You
definitely.
can't convince him.
No.
No, he's just
He-
not interested.
He's not interested. He plays tennis once in a while.
Yeah.
That's his most exercise that he does.
Huh.
No, but
That's gonna bite him in the ass when his metabolism goes.
dude, I don't think
How
so.
old is he
I
right
think
now?
his family's
24?
all very like.
Are they all lean?
fit. Yeah.
This is his
Except
dad's a-
his dad. Except
That's
his
what I was
dad.
gonna say. I seen his dad. He's like,
He's,
you know what his dad looks like? The guy in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's huge. I
Yeah.
think he's like 6'4", and he's
Jesus
almost
Christ.
300 pounds.
Yeah.
But even then, his body fat distributes really well
Yeah.
to where he looks muscular.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But yeah, when you're married, you have somebody to make plans with and bounce back and forth between each other to keep each other on track.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is nice. But didn't always have Alex there. I started when I was maybe 18, working out. I started really embarrassing, like in my bedroom, and I remember getting so embarrassed when like my mom walked in or something.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Well,
"Nothing."
also, I remember when you first started actively working out and eating healthier,
yeah,
and the stigma with the family, it's
So
like,
much.
why is she starving herself? Why
She's
won't she
sick.
eat? Yeah, she's sick.
Myrna accused me of having an eating disorder,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
convinced my mom. And I was like, "No, I don't."
And look at all of, I don't know anybody in our family who's in shape.
No,
The Luisa is very like lean and she eats healthy,
she doesn't exercise.
but she doesn't exercise
She
at
has
all.
really a lot of like body problems too.
Yeah. And
So.
a lot of severe anxiety, which working out helps with.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah,
It does.
helps out with a lot.
All of our mental health problems in the family could be improved so much with
Yeah.
exercise.
Yeah.
Walking. They don't want to walk.
Yeah.
They get tired fast. I'm like, yeah, you're going to get tired fast. That's
Yeah.
what's walking. That's what exercise is. You got to keep going.
Yeah. But I think it's like learning how to be okay with being uncomfortable for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I remember I was really into running when I first moved back here. I would run every day, and I got to the point where I was running 7 miles every single, like 4 or 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 miles for me is a lot.
That's a lot.
But like at first you fucking hate running. Like I could run like a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, and then you learn to finally finish the mile and you're happy about that. And then you push yourself more and more, and then you go from hating it to being okay with it to like you need it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's really nice.
I think everyone who
But
says they love running are lying.
no,
You don't
it's
love it.
it's
You
actually
just get used to it.
no, I think it becomes very enjoyable. It's like when I know I have a long day of work ahead of me and it's like exhausting and I fucking hate it. Okay, somebody said there's 2 kinds of happiness. There's happiness in the moment where you're like, this is really awesome. I'm really happy right now. And then there's happiness after the fact where something was so much of a struggle to get through, but you did it. And it's like, it's even longer lasting happiness than.
It's delayed gratification.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm going to school.
But you're not a fan of cardio at all.
I did cardio for years.
Yeah.
I was a cardio person.
But it doesn't have as much.
It didn't like I stopped because I was worried about my knees. Kelsey's mom, avid runner,
Yeah.
ran track all the time. She has knee problems. She's 53, and I don't want to be at that
It could
stage.
also be genetic too, though.
It could be. but
Also, you can do like resistance training and all that stuff.
I
to
am
strengthen
huge
it.
into weights right now. That's
Yeah.
what my main thing is right now. I have actually started. I talked to Alex about yesterday. Bringing cardio back into my routine because I'm getting bulkier rather than like leaner, which I want to be leaner.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna incorporate it 2 times a week now into my routine.
Okay.
Not 5 times
But see,
like I was doing.
here's the thing. I know I would be so much happier, probably a solid 30% happier if I was consistently working out, because not only what it does to your mental space, but when you're in good shape physically, how you move through the world on a day-to-day basis, you're so much more comfortable, so much more confident. But it takes so fucking long. It takes so long.
Yeah.
Like I got fat in 5 months. If I busted ass for 5 months, I could get in just okay shape. It would take, like a solid year to get really.
I don't know about that. You know the guy from American Psycho, that actor?
Yeah, Christian Bale.
You know how he's like able to lose all that weight?
Yeah,
gain
he
all
ate
that
an
weight,
apple
lose
a
all that
day.
weight? Are you serious?
He literally just ate 1 apple a day.
That's crazy.
For The Machinist, I think that's what it's called. When he was doing The Machinist, he ate an apple a day. But then he did Batman right after that, and he got fucking jacked.
Yeah.
And it's all about hardcore discipline.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Chris, he lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
He was a big guy. He did fasting or whatever. If you fast once a day, I feel like it could help you.
Yeah, but that's what we talked about. You said you don't like the 1 meal a day. A 1 solid meal a day, that's essentially fasting.
No, yeah. That was premature talking. I think that helps. That has a role, but it's not like everything. You're gonna need something that you can maintain more.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not gonna work long term.
Yeah, but I just fucking love. I had a donut today. I went to Donut Parade and got a donut. Nice big apple fritter.
You gotta ask yourself, do you really want it?
I know.
I started with like a vision of myself. Like I was really depressed as a teenager, and I started with like, this is what I want to be like.
Yeah.
And I had that image. I even wrote down a vision board, and I made that. I made goals, my fitness goals, my mental health goals, and I stuck to it because it's not fun feeling shitty every day.
Yeah.
So the only way it's gonna change is if you change it.
Somebody said, I'm probably gonna butcher the quote. It hurts to do it, but it hurts more to not do it.
Yeah, like you gotta choose your heart.
Yeah. But I just get so focused on it's only been 1 day or 6 days or like 9 days, and it feels like it's going so slow. Because this is a conversation I had with my friend Alex when we were doing the podcast. Is the whole time you're doing it, you're still in a shit body. You're busting your ass, but you're not gonna look good for a long time.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it's so slow.
You will look good eventually.
Yeah. And it sucks because just like a solid 6 months, you look significantly better. But it's like Elena with the sobriety thing. It's hard to even get the first day in.
Yeah.
And then continue that.
That's the hardest part,
Yeah.
Starting is the hardest part. It's like you were saying with the sobriety thing. My dad's the same way, alcoholic forever, and my mom's like,
that's another thing.
Well, he's got a sickness. Like, if you want something to change, you have to change it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't click for people.
No, but it sucks because I'm always like harping on Elena, like, why the fuck can't you just suck it up and get it together? And then I go and light a cigarette, and then I shove a donut down my face, and then I spend 6 hours on my fucking phone watching YouTube videos.
That's true.
It's like, fuck, it's hard.
Yeah.
And changing everything about yourself as a person is really hard.
Yeah, you can't compare those two, though. You can't compare donut to a drug that's harming yourself and your child. If you were harming...
It's just a lighter version. It's addiction light, like Bud Light.
It is, yeah. It is addiction.
But
I feel like if I was harming someone else in the process of it, it would be a different story.
Yeah, but the pull of it physically but I don't know, because my dad did the same thing with alcohol. Your dad does the same thing with alcohol.
Your dad got sober.
Yeah, but he's been sober 10 years, so that means he got sober when I was 18, which means he was an alcoholic for like 13 years or something like that.
That's true.
So it takes a long time. The thing is, though, that like when you do opiates and stuff, that's way more dangerous because you can die a lot sooner and it's a lot worse on your body. But also the withdrawals are so much more painful. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
It takes the choice, though, to get help.
Yeah.
It all starts with the choice.
But when you can make that choice, but then as soon as you get the whole time you're using, you're avoiding all the shit that you're not taking care of. You're avoiding all the people you fucked over.
Yeah.
You're avoiding all, like Elena's case, all your legal charges that you have against you that are coming up. And when you're under the influence and, living on the streets or whatever, you can just be like, fuck everything. Yeah. None of that matters right now. And then the second you get sober, you have to deal with all of it at once.
All the repercussions.
And so it's like, why the fuck would I do that? I could just get sober and not give a shit about it.
Yeah.
But, and in the case of, I was gonna say in the case of your dad, what do you even think is keeping him there?
I don't know. I think he has a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses to blame. Like, he blames my mom for leaving him in the first place. He blames his second wife for leaving him again. And his mom, his family backs it up. It's like, yeah, you need a good woman who's going to stay with you no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I think that enables him. It enables him. Yeah. And he's never had to make a choice. He still doesn't admit he has a problem. He never has admitted it. No. He says, God is gonna find me the good woman, and like all this stuff. And so yeah, I think that's why I take fitness so seriously. It's because like it is my addiction, and it's the way that I don't know, that separate myself from him. Yeah. Is like I am a better version of him. Yeah. Pretty much. I'm addicted to this, but I'm addicted in a good way.
Oh, at least it's a healthy addiction. Yeah. But yeah, I just don't know. And what's the longest he's been sober?
6 months.
And so it's like after 6 months. 6 months, man.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think it's a good idea? You're already 6 months in. Like with the depression. With Elena, with Elena, it's like she was arrested and she was like 5 or 6 weeks sober. And then they release her and she immediately goes back and starts using. It's like, what the fuck, man? Mm-hmm. The hardest part is getting the hardest part is probably staying sober. But the most painful part, at least when you're an opiate addict, is
the withdrawal.
Yeah, the withdrawal. And so, I don't know.
I don't know either. But I'm proud of Natalie and Valerie. They're starting their fitness journey. Yeah. Kind of on and off. It's hard. Journey. It's hot dog journey. Hot dog summer, I think.
I was so depressed because June 21st was the first day of summer. Mm-hmm. And that was the goal date.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. I was doing so well.
Have you written a plan?
I've written many plans. Okay. Yeah. And I got to restart.
Have you considered a coach?
I have no money for that.
Okay.
But the longest I went in a row, like minimum 5 days a week, 6 days a week, which I know you can say this burnout, whatever. But I went for a full month and I was so in love with like the routine of waking up early, going to the gym and then going to work. Yeah. And then I went on the trip to El Salvador and I ate a bunch of food and did all that. And then when I got back, I had no motivation because I lost all the progress that I had worked up to.
That's hard.
It's like, God, starting back over.
It's a lifestyle change. Yeah. You should have carried your habits that you made here to El Salvador.
I wanted to, and I was looking for a gym, and I couldn't find one. And then I found out there was one 2 blocks away, and it was $1 a day.
Oh, wow. I meant your eating habits, though, primarily.
The eating habits. That's the most difficult one.
60% of it is eating. I think more, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do about that.
I think my issue right now is the wine I've been consuming. Yeah. I think that's inhibiting me from making more progress because I can lift weights to no end. Yeah. It's just the wine's holding me back. Yeah. That's like an extra 400 calories a day.
That's a lot of just empty
carbs. Yeah.
Are you drinking wine every day?
No. Oh, but the amount that I do drink, pretty much every day.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I drink. It's also the family parties. It's not going to pick it up. Yeah, it'll be fine. There's so many family parties. Oh, yeah. So going to barbecues and eating cake and eating burgers.
I don't even eat the stuff there, though. I will leave and eat something lighter.
Talk shit. What, you think you're too good for our food?
Hey, you gotta sometimes offend people to maintain your
no, that's true. Happiness. That's definitely, especially when it comes to our family.
You just get used to it to tune it out.
Yeah. I remember... that's too long of a conversation. It's something Carlos said. But he was getting on me for... He's like, what are you doing with your life? Oh, okay, here's one thing he said. I don't even know if this is related, but we were at Tiotani's house watching all the kids run around. He's like, man, if you could go back and do it over again, wouldn't you do it all completely differently? What would you do differently? And I was like, I would have quit school sooner. He's like, because he was like, wouldn't you just gone back to school and blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's not for me. And then, because I want to pursue all the things I'm interested in, like
Yeah.
this and this, and it's way less of a guarantee that anything will come of it,
Mm-hmm.
like versus what you and Alex are doing, or Valerie or Natalie or any of that. But I enjoy it, and I couldn't enjoy it. Like, I remember asked, and this is no hate, but I remember asked Valerie, I was like, what do you want to be? And she's like, a dental hygienist. And I was like, is that what you wanted to be when you were 6 or 10 or 15 or whatever? And she's like, no, it makes a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
With Valerie, though, she's never actually wanted to be anything, though.
Yeah.
So it would be different if she had a dream, like, her whole life.
And then Los Bukis are coming to the Gorge.
Oh, nice.
And I was talking to Tio Carlos and Tio Tanis and my dad. And I was like, we should all go and see Los Bukis. And Carlos goes, no, I can't go watch that. And I'm like, why? And he goes, because every time if I were to see that in person, I would just think that should be me. Like, why didn't I? And
What?
I'm like, okay, so you gave up on your dream. You weren't going to be Los Bukis. Like, that's 1 in a million, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you could have done something.
Yeah.
But you gave up on it. And now you're shitting on me for not giving up on the things that I want to do. And it's like, you can't have both.
No.
It's like either, and maybe I'm not doing it exactly right, but I mean, there's no guaranteed path.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the family sees you and, like, how well you're doing with the house and everything. I don't think.
I guess so. But I remember even like 6 months before we bought the house, I was talking about how Emilio was just like smoking weed all day and just staying at the house, never cleaned up, never paid rent, doing all this other stuff. And at that time I was renting the garage, which eventually landed me a gig at the studio, which is now leading me. I've got paid jobs to produce podcasts for other people. But I had an agreement with my dad. We were working on getting the house, and he said, you can just, don't worry about rent. You just pay for your podcast studio because that's what you're doing right now. And then, we'll figure it out when we get the house. And so when I was telling Tio Carlos that Emilio wasn't doing anything, and then he's like, so what are you paying in rent? And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I am renting the garage. He's like, that garage isn't important right now. What are you doing? You're doing the same selfish bullshit that Emilio's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, who brought this family together?
Yeah.
Who bought the house and put all of us in it? Who hunted down Elena? Who's helping Emilio get his shit together?
No, you're doing a lot.
And
I think the Carlos is just hard on you.
but his only thing, if he would give me no shit if I would just go to school. But that doesn't make any sense to
Yeah.
me, because it's
not all
like
about school.
my friend, he's a merit scholar. He's one of the smartest people in the country, percentage wise. He's a really cool guy, really smart. Got a degree in graphic design. He's $30,000 in debt. In the 8 or whatever years he's been out of college, that debt hasn't gone down much at all.
Yeah.
Interest and all that stuff. And then he has like, his wife has like an 800 credit score. He's like 780, and they can't get a house because he's got $30,000 in student loans.
Only
and
$30,000.
No, that's not a lot, but it's enough to prohibit him from getting a home loan. And also he's not making any money because that degree that he chose was kind of useless. And so it's kind of a gamble. And it blew my mind when you said you have like $500,000 in student loan. Is that currently, or that's what it'll be projected throughout the years?
It will be.
Okay.
But
Fucking A, doesn't that stress you the fuck out?
no, because I'm guaranteed a job. And
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed a minimum starting 80. Okay.
Yeah.
And Alex has a loan forgiveness because he's gonna be a physician. So
What's a loan forgiveness?
his like a lot of his loans gonna be forgiven if he works for a nonprofit for Providence.
Oh.
I have that too, but not much. Yeah. So we just have to work there for a few years. Like we have to
Yeah.
contract.
How many years do you have to work? And is it a portion of it is forgiven, or?
I think it's a portion. They help you with it. I think 7 years minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
Do you have
want
to
to
work
live
the
in Spokane.
same nonprofit or a nonprofit
A
within that
nonprofit
system?
in that system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets a physician loan for a house, so we can get a house no matter
Oh,
what.
nice. Wait, so does he work for pay? And it still counts
Yes.
as okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so that's
We have
that's
a
like
plan.
essentially
No.
making double.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's not making that money. He's putting it towards his loans.
Yeah. Okay. Let's clarify this. So he works at a nonprofit, right?
Yes.
They do some loan forgiveness, but he also gets paid for his work, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's essentially
Okay.
getting paid double or
Yeah.
more than what
He would get paid more money if he worked for profit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't help low income or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely do have a plan.
Yeah.
But it still scares
It's scary.
the shit out of me.
It's scary, but like you said, you're following your dream, following mine.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter how much it costs.
Yeah, but the thing is, I gotta do this. It goes dim sometimes. I can never figure out. I think it's a TV.
Oh.
But the shitty thing about, not doing the school route is like the school route has colleges that'll teach you how to be a professional in the field that you're choosing.
Yeah.
For like arts stuff, there's no real instruction course. And also, you're getting what portion of that loan is yours? 500
Of my loan?
of the $500,000.
Mine's 100,000.
So, and you're 20.
I'm 25.
25. There's not many places that'll give a 25-year-old $100,000 loan unless it's for school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, unless I had incredible credit and a solid job, solid income already, I'm not getting a loan to do all the things that I want to do.
It's true.
I just got lucky that I got a grant and I was able to get a couple things, which was nice. But so there's not a real path to success when you're
Kelsey,
doing...
I mean, look at Kelsey.
Yeah.
She has like the Indian tribal money.
Yeah.
But I think she is really smart with investing.
Really?
She's investing in stocks and stuff.
Really?
And is making her money. Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, she's really smart. She's also making some like gardening stuff that she sells.
Yeah.
But she's actually gonna move to Seattle in October to start a business.
Oh, that's all. Doing what?
It's natural medicine stuff.
Yeah.
Natural herbs.
If I were native, bro, I would just be.
But it's only $1,200 a month.
Stacking
like, what
that
else?
cheddar. Yeah. What you do is work a job anyway, put that money in the bank, and just leave it there, or invest in stuff. But like just spending it on whatever. Yeah. That's like a free $1,200. Plus that's the monthly. They get like a fat check,
her
right?
School was covered and stuff and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you the cards you're dealt plays a big role.
Yeah, what you can do with the cards you're dealt. But yeah, I don't know. It's nice having stability, having a house now, because before it's just bouncing back and forth. But that's another thing that we didn't really have growing up is like we probably moved 15 different times before high school. Like. Because, I mean, we got evicted a few times and also just left apartments with my mom. Then we moved in with Amy in her apartment. Then we moved into grandma's. Then Amy with her apartments. Then the house that Amy lived with. Then back to grandma's.
How long were you at Amy's house?
7 fucking years.
Yeah, that was a long time.
Yeah, that was a long time, but it was also fucking hell.
Yeah, I remember.
But then we moved to grandma's and then Teotani's. And then to the west side, and then back to grandma's. Then I moved in with Tio Carlos, and then I left Tio Carlos to live with friends. And it's like, goddamn, like
very unstable.
Yeah. And how are you supposed to make? Like, I have a friend who lived in the same house his whole life. It's like the stability, the positive,
reinforcement,
the positive habits that you can develop to be a stable person.
Yeah, we're also talking about like role models. Like who do you look up to when you're growing up?
Yeah.
Who?
Probably Tio Carlos. And
for what qualities?
Well, he was sober all the time. He didn't really do any of that. And he was just very fun and charming and nice. Yeah. And he always looked after us. All of our uncles, really. Yeah. But all my role models were artists. And, like, especially in high school, it was like Kanye West. Because I know he gets a lot of hate, but he taught you how to, like, be confident and, like, believe in yourself. And to never budge when somebody's telling you you can't do something that you want to do.
That's why I'm a huge rap fan. I started listening to rap when I was little because of all the depression I had, and they like pumped me up. That's what helped me work out.
Believe in yourself. There was a Kanye interview. He's like, if you're a fan of Kanye, if you like my music, you're not a fan of Kanye West. You're a fan of yourself. It's like I teach people how to believe in themselves. It's like that's pretty true. I think all the people I looked up to were just artists and musicians. What about you?
Myrna. Mirna
Yeah.
was like the only
Yeah.
cousin we had who like went to school, and she had Uncle Tom to help her a lot, which was nice. But she is like a badass. She's like
Yeah.
almost CEO right now. She's
Yeah.
a woman. She's
Yeah.
doing her own shit, and
Yeah.
like I respect that a lot.
And you're kind of following a similar path.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
hope so.
Yeah.
My mom too. My mom's really strong. My mom always wanted to stick with school, but
Yeah.
she has got too many cognitive problems.
Yeah, your mom's kind of done a badass job.
She has.
Like all three of you are doing pretty.
She bought her own
well.
house.
Yeah.
You know? She's a hard worker.
Yeah.
So she's who I looked up to for a lot of reasons. Abuelita too.
Oh yeah, that's probably number one.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it logistically, let's say all of Teotanis' kids plus all of Emilio's kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you alone have to take them to a different country with like barely any money.
Right.
That's like 11 kids. I think they brought 13 kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
With,
these
like-
stairs kids too.
Yeah, that's what. So she
Yeah.
has 9 or 10.
Do you stare?
No,
Abuelita
grandma.
has 10.
10 with the one that died, or 11.
11 with the one that died.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. She has 10,
Yeah.
and then Esther has.
She had 3.
She had 3 then.
Yeah.
So that's 13 kids.
Yeah.
Plus stragglers that came
Yeah.
along with. And so, one woman in like her 30s or 40s.
Yeah, she was 40.
Yeah.
But she
Traveling
didn't
country.
even stop there. She didn't come here and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
She set up her business.
Yeah.
She worked.
But like.
She's got a lot of backwards beliefs. I will give you that. But
Yeah. Well, like.
she's the one who gave me crap for like trying to lose weight. You know?
Oh, that's just
It's
that's just
cultural.
immigrant
Yeah,
grandma
it
stuff.
is, yeah.
Like you need to eat. Yeah, they're not great with that. They're
No.
always trying to feed me stuff.
Yeah.
But imagine having your husband was just murdered,
Mm-hmm.
and there's people are getting killed all over the place, and you got to bring all your kids, and the youngest one's like 5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like to a different country, getting chased by dogs and helicopters and shit, and crossing the border and immigration. That's some movie shit. I can do it.
Yeah.
I
She's
would've
pretty
folded.
great. And she's still kicking it. She's 83.
Yeah. That's why she go to El Salvador with us.
No, she's still kicking it. She's going to live
Yeah.
forever. My Alex's grandma is 98.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She's
She
happy.
Eat healthy though.
She's an old lady. She's chubby.
Yeah. But, I don't know, and I worry about my dad, because he's getting older too. Like all of our parents, like Teotanis,
They're all getting old.
but-
It makes me really sad.
but none of them are staying in shape.
Nope.
None of them are eating healthy. All of
Has
them are
your-
filled with anxiety.
Has your dad been checked for diabetes?
No, probably should though.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got all the guys have sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm. And my
And
mom.
that's a killer too.
I'm worried my mom's going to get diabetes. She was pre-diabetic for a bit.
Yeah. But there's no talking them into eating healthy. But I can't talk shit because it's hard to talk me into eating healthy.
You got to lead by example, dude.
That's so fucking
If you
hard.
can start making healthy food here, give it to your
Yeah.
dad.
That's what when I'm in my healthy phases, that's what I do. I just cook dinner for both of us every night. But then I'm eating cheeseburgers and shit. So I don't know. The question is, how do you start good habits, stick with them every day, and then eventually ingrain them into who you are as a person?
Yep.
And that's hard.
It is hard. I recently started eating chips again
Mm.
and been kicking myself in the butt.
Were you
'cause
actively avoiding them?
I was actively avoiding them, and I did for years. And
Yeah.
then when I got married, Alex loves chips, so it's always around. But that was drinking wine less and eating less chips and incorporating cardio is
Yeah.
part of my process now.
Yeah.
That I put in my phone for reminders.
Yeah,
all that
I wish you weren't leaving so soon because I wanted to put like up a chart here with like our goals and like
Oh, yeah.
weekly progresses and stuff. But Natalie doesn't want to come on the podcast. And Valerie's,
Yeah, I
maybe
think
I'll
they were
convince
both
Valerie.
like they both don't want to say something and then not commit to it.
Yeah.
And feel defeated.
you know what we could do if you were interested? It'd be cool because then I can convince Natalie and Val to come over and record podcasts. If we just got you a mic and an interface, we
Ooh.
could do Zoom podcasts.
I would love to.
And we could talk. We could put you on the TV, so it's like you're here.
Yeah.
And then we could the 3 of us could sit here and just
That'd be pretty good.
bullshit and keep
Yeah.
track of.
Do I even need a microphone for that? Can I just zoom in?
You can, but the audio quality
Oh.
sucks. It's fine. But I can find you a microphone set up for really cheap, and I can just send it over.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to. I think I'll find one for like $200, and it's just a little box and then a microphone. That's not
If
that
you
bad.
want, you don't have to do that.
But,
I'll be here like in the winter, and we can do it again.
But I'm almost like close to getting a life-size cutout of some ripped dude and just putting it on, putting my face on it, and be like, get to this.
Do you have any friends who are?
No, I ask all my friends to come work out with me, and none of them are interested, or they all work at inconvenient times.
Oh yeah.
And so my cousin Mitchell was supposed to come and start working out with me every day, but he's like, "Oh, I got kids." And
Do you feel like you worked out more when you were at the Y?
yeah.
Maybe we should go back to that.
It's $50 a month, bro. I
but
got
if you-
$1,800 mortgage to worry about. It's like $50 a month.
They have like low income things.
I'm not qualified as low income.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and which I should be. I don't make that much money.
Yeah.
But my buddy works at the Y, and he's like, I'm quitting soon, so I'll just readjust your numbers and charge you like $7 a month. I'm like,
What about Planet Fitness?
I hate Planet Fitness.
Me too. I hate it.
I have a membership there. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like the atmosphere. I don't like their stupid Smith machine or whatever.
Yeah. I'm over there at Airway Heights gym. It's
Oh.
expensive though. 54 or something.
Is that where you guys are living? Airway
Yeah.
Heights? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But $50 a month. I should just get it again.
Yeah. If it's what you need,
Yeah. Yeah.
do it.
Plus having women in the vicinity.
Old
kind of
women
a-
at the YMCA.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. I
People
don't know what to do.
overthink things too, you know. Like you were saying, I want to work out, but I'm not gonna look great tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like you'll look good by winter. Start
Yeah.
now.
But I have been doing some positive things. I've been reading a lot. I've been reading every night. I've replaced. I no longer watch Family Guy to go to bed. I just
Nice.
read to go to bed.
Nice.
And then.
What are you reading?
I'm reading that one right there, Dante's Inferno.
Oh yeah, we read that
And
in high school.
then, yeah, I should have read it in high school. And then The Odyssey. I'm reading all the classics that they
Oh,
told us to
cool.
read back in the day that I never did.
Odyssey's good too.
Um,
This one's a hard read though. It's hard to
yeah,
break
it's
it down.
confusing as shit.
We had to do it as a class because it was too hard.
Yeah, it's written in like verse or whatever, and it's translated from, I don't know, some language, maybe Italian. There's a lot of good shit in there though.
Mm-hmm.
But it's helping me in a bunch of ways because I'm reading, it's reading is like running. You hate starting, but once you get into it, it's like you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I'm reading more, and instead of watching TV, I'm reading, so that replaces the TV. So
Yeah.
I'm not watching as much TV, and then I'm not mindlessly watching TV till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I read till I get tired, and then I just go to bed. So I'm going to bed earlier.
That's good.
So reading has a lot of good health benefits.
Dude, it does start with sleeping.
Yeah, it really, really does.
I didn't go to the gym today because I woke up at 11 and I was
Yeah.
like too tired.
Yeah.
I was like,
And somebody said that the time you go to bed isn't as important as the time you wake up. Like
I believe
it's still important, but it's more important to like every day, same time. And then once you do it for like a week or 2 weeks, you
It's
just
easy,
naturally like you'll wake up a minute before your alarm clock every
Yeah.
time. But it's fucking hard. The hard part for me is I'm in like a foggy dream state when I wake up. So immediately like my lazy brain is just like snooze, and then I'll snooze that like 80 times till it's like 2 hours later.
yeah, I've done that too.
So I don't know.
I'm excited to go back to school to have that routine again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
Doesn't school suck though?
No, I love school.
I hated school.
I don't
hate
know why
school so
you've hated
much.
school. Do you have ADHD?
I was thinking about that the other day. So
It runs in the family.
I don't think ADHD exists. You know what I think it is? I think it's, and okay, I think if you were to say what is ADHD if it were a real thing, I would have it. But all I think ADHD is a person who's undisciplined in their mind, who hasn't learned the skill of being disciplined into focusing on the task at hand and being present in the moment. And I think that's something you can learn, but you have to be really diligent about it. And eventually you'll form that. I think ADHD, that's some bullshit excuse to give pussies a reason not to do anything in life.
I don't know about that, but
I think it is. I think it's just learn to be disciplined.
I do agree that there's like you can teach yourself how to focus on things that you're not interested in.
Yeah.
But there is definitely chemical things in there.
But it goes like it's similar to the drug addiction thing.
Yeah.
It's like when a cigarette.
There's medication for it.
But you shouldn't. It's like there's medication for diabetes.
Yeah.
Or okay, that's not a good example. Yeah, you probably do. There's medication for non-natural like acid reflux or heart medication. There's a lot of medications that people use as a crutch, but if you just lived a healthier lifestyle, you would not even remotely need them. And I think it's the same. It's like unless you have a real chemical, like a solid chemical imbalance.
It is an actual chemical imbalance. You know, Marco, our cousin.
Yeah.
He has severe ADHD.
But
he got 2 degrees.
Yeah.
I think he had to like really try.
But I think it's probably akin to antidepressants. It's like somebody said that antidepressants are like a cast for your mind. When you're in a really dark place, the antidepressants will help mend it and help you get out of that, and then you wean yourself off the drugs, and then you'll be fine after that. You don't need to stay on antidepressants your whole life.
I don't know about that.
Some people do. Some people do.
My mom.
But for most people, if you're actively pursuing a healthier lifestyle, going to therapy, and you don't have like a permanent chemical imbalance, because a lot of depression is something puts you in a depressive state. Maybe it's like a traumatic life experience, the death of a loved one, a really bad breakup, or
there's different types of depression. There's manic depression,
Yeah.
and there's chronic depressive disorder, which is what my mom has. So yeah, you're right. Depression is not all permanent.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, it's like something put them in that depressive state, and now they're in a hole that they don't know how to get out of.
Yeah, you're right.
But if you can use antidepressants as a ladder to get out of the hole, you can avoid going back in the hole if you're diligent about it. And I think probably ADHD is probably the same thing. You might need some medication to help you get on the train track. But if you just don't, go off the handle, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I ain't no doctor. I don't fucking know shit. But I do think
you need a little extra to focus though.
Yeah, but
like when you read, do you find your mind wandering?
That's a great question, because when I first started reading, it was really bad, and I would get really sleepy, and I would want to fall asleep, or I'd want to focus on other thing, or I'd check my phone. And then I started just sitting in an upright position. I put my phone in the other room, and I just forced myself, and then your brain gets used to it, and then you don't even think about it, and you get sucked into it the same way you do when you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like I'll get annoyed that I'll read before I go to work, and I'll be like, I have to leave. I have to close the book, which is shitty. And that would never have happened before.
Yeah.
I would even hate to pick it up in the first place. So I think that's like a lot of things that you don't want to do. It's like working out. It's just getting past the part of being uncomfortable, and then, learning to love it.
Doing it. Yeah. Okay. So, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good closing spot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.